This video, which has been available since July 25th, contains spoilers about the plot and ending of the latest MCU film, Fantastic Four: First Step. We strongly recommend watching it after seeing it in theaters.
The main theme might be my favorite ever. It's so cool.
I liked the main theme, but the excitement of the opening was strong.
There weren't any particularly surprising developments, but the world and the characters were nice and royal.
It was so royal that it was refreshing to see the opposite.
It was like a movie for F4 fans by F4 fans for 100 million F4 fans worldwide. In other words, the best.
I seriously almost cried when he ended it with Kirby's words at the end. I think all the Fantastic Four nerds in the world are crying.
It's nice to have an empty seat in Latveria from the very beginning for those who know what they're talking about.
I can't believe there are countries that don't come to the 4th anniversary celebration of the formation of the Fantastic Four.
If you go to the post-creation this time, you've been active for 8 years, Fantastic Four.
Well, it's a little too royal and the development is easy to read. But the characters, background music, and the people are so much better.
Also, the citizens were so nice that it was pleasant to watch. If it were Earth 616, the rioting citizens would have at least thrown Molotov cocktails at the buildings.
It's been a loose world in many ways.
The MCU as a whole tends to do some pretty stressful developments, so I was relieved to see it.
I wasn't expecting much, but this is a really good movie. It's like a classic story, but I think it depicts all the good points of FF.
I'm rather divided on the fact that it's a cottage of a cottage movie. As a live-action adaptation of the Fantastic Four subject matter, you can give it a perfect score.
Personally, I'm fine with this kind of thing. That's what the movie was about.
What can I say? The number 4 makes you look the coolest. Thanks, Fantastic Four.
I'm glad to see that this F4 is going to be a normal success.
But the president has declared that he's going to reset the MCU completely, right?
This time around, Fantastic Four-Ments says it will remain after the reset.
It was plain but interesting. It was interesting but plain.
To be honest, I think it's interesting, but if it had a little more impact.
It doesn't have the usual MCU-style action of a smash-and-grab game, so it might be a little subdued for those who like that kind of thing.
As a movie, it is safe. Almost no action, so don't expect much.
Too bad you didn't have much rubber description.
Well, as far as this movie is concerned, Reed's contribution was more in his brains than in his telescoping ability.
The action side of the film is all about the Silver Surfers. I think it was more than half, if not.
The most flashy or action-packed scene might have been the one where they were running away from the Silver Surfer on the spaceship.
Even after Galactus finally lands, he basically doesn't attack, so it doesn't seem that important. There are many other minor points that make me want to nitpick.
The portrayal of the people and the world is generally thin. There is a woman who befriends Ben, but there is nothing surprising about her. At the end, they take refuge in the depths of the Earth because of the attack of Galactus. But isn't there some other place where they can take refuge? I mean, what is an underworlder?
I think if you go to see it expecting Galactus, you'll be pretty disappointed. I think the characterization of Ben and Johnny was good.
I wish Galactus had gone on a more spectacular rampage, but I think it's a good, solid science fiction film.
I thought the retro-heroic atmosphere before going to the space was so far in the live action. After going to space, well, it was interesting, but I thought it could be seen elsewhere.
I feel like the smarts of that whole family were more upfront than the superpowers, but I guess that's just because this area will be shown in the Avengers.
It was like a Disney family movie, but with a narrow focus on the characters, so it's easy to get attached to them.
Reed's going to start his warriors in science and technology after the Avengers join forces.
I know some of them can't be fully drawn, but the characters were plain. The CG is by far the best in the MCU.
The Excelsior and the depiction of the additional units were amazing, but the VFX in space are seriously impressive.
The scene of the Galactus ship breaking through the stars was a nice picture.
CG was really good this time. Everything around the Silver Surfer is good.
It's like a hero movie that focuses more on space and family than action.
I hadn't seen MCU in a year or two, so I was expecting to be bombarded with stories I didn't understand. I was worried, but was relieved to find none of that.
This is a very safe creation, even if this is the first time to see MCU, including the last part of the film. No one knows where Doom stands in the MCU.
How was the dubbing?
It was good. There was almost no celebrity dubbing or anything like that.
Koyasu was acting damp all the time.
When I heard the trailer, all I could think of was Koyasu's face. But the more I watched, the more I got used to it, and that lead was just Koyasu.
So far, you feel like you've been fighting only with villains that have a local feel?
It's a local villain, and it's a bit of a stretch to say it, but yeah.
There are orangutan villains and stuff.
Like F4, its team villain, an old man and 3 apes with special abilities under the influence of cosmic radiation.
Come to think of it, I don't know anything about manga, so I didn't understand that part. Was the live-action version of Red Ghost shown on screen? While I was trying to figure out which one was him, the documentary ended.
Red Ghost was in the preview, but the article said that all of his scenes were cut.
Oh, I see. I saw his name mentioned in the credits alongside Monkey, and since he was also in Poscure, I thought I had missed it.
I'd love to see the full version of the story about the gorillas and the underworlders and stuff.
I wanted them to depict the Fantastic Four's exploits in the first half in more detail.
The scale of the battle hasn't suddenly gone up. I thought we were dealing with apes and subterraneans.
You already know, the Fantastic Four side of the story. This ain't the rubber part of Richard's introduction.
I know a lot about F4, so even though the movie assumes that viewers are familiar with them and moves the story forward based on that assumption, I just thought, oh, I see. However, from the perspective of someone who knows nothing about them, how do they appear?
I was new to F4, but the description of the TV show at the beginning gave me a decent idea of what kind of people they were.
I like the style of skipping the preamble of recent American comic book movies.
The achievements of past works have created the worldview and atmosphere of superhero movies, and on that foundation, they have been able to deeply root them in people's consciousness, allowing for the creation of works without preamble. The accumulation of numerous successes and failures was by no means wasted.
In fact, it's a really good design because people who know the movie will know what it's about, and newcomers can understand the important parts if you explain them at the beginning. And from there, those who are curious can look up the information.
The Origin Digest broadcast was rather good as it also explained the position of the F4 in the story. It also serves as a reminder that they are the only superheroes on the planet.
I like the many life-saving scenes.
I feel like the citizens of Marvel in this universe were the best citizens of all time.
After a quick end to the hate-filled middle part of the event, the denunciation of the F4 by the citizens, everyone on the planet is a family. We all stand together against them. I like the way you made it flow like that. I never get bored with the movie because it is a space opera and a monster movie all in one movie.
As in the case of Superman, our real world is full of hatred. So the depiction of hatred is more realistic and resonates with the audience, and the characters suffering IS clearly conveyed without spending time on that part. And battling monsters may be the best way to alleviate that suffering.
Considering the population of NY, I'm surprised only that many people protested.
The citizens of this Earth are quite rational because they protest, but they don't throw stones. It shows how much they trust the F4.
This is amazing! Our Fantastic Four! You don't understand anything? Reed Richards, shame on you. This is amazing! Our Fantastic Four!
Simpler and better than ever Marvel citizen.
You're a good listener, but you've got your hand in the palm of your hand, citizen of this Earth.
This Earth over here is so united.
I guess it worked out for the best that the only heroes in that world were the F4.
I'm weak for humanistic themes where humanity's wisdom and hearts come together to face an uncertain doom, so I had tears welling up in my eyes throughout the second half.
It's interesting to see how different the description of long-distance travel is from the sacred timeline of opening the gate, and how different the technology really is.
The genius of the lead and the high level of trust that makes the proposal acceptable.
The level of technology in that world is amazing.
I thought the failure was because Latveria had rebelled, but it was the Silver Surfer.
When I heard they were moving the Earth, I braced myself for the thought that they were already coming to 616.
It's nice that the four of them get along so well. Even if things get a little awkward, they reconcile quickly.
All four of us are grown-ups.
Sue and Johnny were both good at hate management. Reed is a super genius, but he's not arrogant at all. And Ben is too nice a guy.
All team members are positive.
Johnny was a very nice character.
I like a brother who wants to take a chance on a sexy alien.
I'm glad I went for the one chance I had to solve this problem.
I was worried about making the Silver Surfer a woman's, but it was the right choice for Johnny's showmanship.
This work wasn't as light as it could have been, but it made good use of the womanizing setting.
I was surprised at how much of a genius Johnny was.
What did you say that was? It means this. Johnny is too much of a genius to be able to decipher normal space language by relying on the words that turned up in this exchange.
Frankly, I thought that language deciphering was better suited to depicting genius in an easy-to-understand way.
It's nice to know after the fact what pickup was a bust, and I succeeded.
Personally, I was pretty happy that Johnny, who tends to be a bit of a slacker, played a very active role. Of course, since he was chosen to be an astronaut, Johnny must be very smart, if not as smart as Reed.
Isn't Johnny's flight speed slightly stronger than in the original work?
It ended in failure, but Johnny repeatedly tried to sacrifice himself, making me feel nervous.
I just finished watching it, and it was so much fun. I'd love to see more of Pedro Pascal's leads.
I liked how Reed vacillated between being a scientist who saves the world and a family man who loves his family. I mean, he's not willing to sacrifice his child as a possibility, but he thinks about it, and then everyone gets mad at him for it, and that alone shows what kind of person he is.
People around me are smart, so they know right away. But I'm great because I can basically shut up about the things I'd rather not say. The only time I couldn't afford to do that was when I returned home.
I'm a genius, but I can't cook or get a car license. He thinks rationally, but is sometimes driven by emotion. I think Reed's human charm and the bond with his family members were well portrayed.
I thought he was the same type of person as Tony in Strange, but this movie only has family in it, so he was just a regular good dad lead.
Monstrous power, fire and psychic powers. I know that a person with a rubber body can play an active role.
It's the main thing that's so smart that it's not enough to be super. It's the sub-weapon that stretches the body.
When it comes to geniuses in Marvel Hero, Reed is the first name that comes to mind, ahead of Tony.
Howard is even making practical and popularizing flying cars that were never feasible. Reed?
Reed, who has already invented his own spacecraft capable of superluminal flight, is too much of a genius.
A retro robot that can switch programs on a cassette tape has that kind of autonomous performance, so in many ways, it is a genius of a different dimension.
You've been playing a crazy role in the jumps, and your body has the ability to be rubber.
I thought it would be too much of a quirky governor to swap kids while blindfolded, but it's okay. I thought so, but as I expected, I was exposed immediately, and it was no good. Is this the strategy that the smartest person in the universe came up with? Is this?
I like Thing doing lead encouragement and being a kind uncle.
It's written on your husband's face that congratulations are in order.
Too bad Mr. Singh is the only one with a thin characterization. I wish you could have done it for a little longer.
Just a kind and sensible uncle.
Singh was a very nice guy, not even a single complaint.
Uncle Ben, you were a real nice guy.
It was so sweet to see him holding Franklin and nursing him the whole time.
I wonder if Susie is the most physically active.
In addition to the storyline convenience of Mother is Mighty, she's the strongest on the team when it comes to psychic powers.
Sue was the real leader this time. Her speech in the square was so good.
Susie is incredibly strong.
I felt like my wife was super strong, but maybe that's because she's a mother protecting her children.
Sue's overwhelming Galactus with her mother's power may be controversial, but it's FF's most powerful rating, so I'm okay with it.
I saw an ad today in Akihabara for a woman, invisible and barrier, something with two abilities.
Ability to put up a film that changes the refractive index of light.
This time, Sue was the de facto leader. Her speech in the square was really good.
Mr. Underground Man, you obviously like Sue, don't you?
I was surprised that Malman was a guy who could talk and tell jokes. The Malman I knew was an underground man who couldn't communicate any better than Namor. But when I saw him take off his glasses for the first time, I was like, what? I was surprised.
I liked how it always felt like a close battle. To be honest, I was expecting a bad ending, so I was really relieved.
I got the strange impression that Galactus was somehow comical.
I thought I was going to float away with Phoebe, but I walked.
I'd rather die than have civilians die, but it's sad to see the city uninhabited while the bigots are running amok.
Ben's tanker and Johnny's fire burned him to a crisp, but he walked away with nothing. But getting his eyes burned out works just fine.
Didn't Sue's ability to focus on a single point like condensing light with a lens?
Mr. Galactus, I'm tired, so I'm going to stretch out my rubber man and play.
He seems too tired.
The part where he took one look at the Statue of Liberty was charismatic.
I liked it when Galactus smelled the Earth's soil and started smiling. That "it's a treat" look.
I liked the strange old man Galactus, with his burning eyes, grinning, playing with rubber, getting his armrest collapsed, and almost falling down.
Galactus, who was grinning while extending his lead, failed. What's so funny?
But from the way he glanced at the Statue of Liberty, I sensed his charisma.
I like the scene where Garakuda smells the scent of Earth and smiles. He looked as if he had a feast in front of him.
It was good that Garakudas had the aura of an old man. For example, the way he acted when his eyes were burned, the way he played with the rubber man, and the way he staggered when the building he was using as an armrest collapsed.
Galactus' back device flinches at the slightest touch. You're not an event boss in a video game.
If I open all the valves on his back, I wonder if he'll cower in hunger.
Despite his powerful abilities, Galactus seemed like a manageable opponent if the size issue could be resolved.
His defeat was caused by his playing down.
If it wasn't for babies, we'd kill the Earth in a heartbeat.
If you don't playing down, you'll completely destroy the baby you're targeting.
You lost, Galactus, and Cosmic Being is not much better.
He was simply sent to the edge of the universe, so he will probably come back again someday.
Galactus was merely banished to the far reaches of the universe, and there was no chance of defeating him in a direct confrontation. Furthermore, it would have been impossible to banish him without the cooperation of Silver Surfer, so I think the ending of the story is fine as it is.
Many of the high-ranking characters in the MCU are easy to talk to. If Galactus gets Franklin as negotiated, he will probably eat Franklin and go home satisfied.
It's being cleverly ignored, but what happened to Galactus's home, the main body of the planet-devouring weapon?
Sentry was much better as the strongest non-standard character.
The sense of despair in the scene where the girl was enveloped in shadow was intense.
I felt that the character of Galactus was wasted.
In MCU, one-off villains are often disposable, but doing that to a famous character would cause controversy.
For example, Taskmaster.
It's a bit weak, isn't it? It's a bit weak, but it's a story that made sense for Galactus, so it's okay.
In exchange for Galactus having few scenes, Silver Surfer was incredibly cool.
I liked the depiction of Silver Surfer's immense power. I especially liked the scene where he surfs through the clouds of space.
I love surfing through the flames.
The Silver Surfer, who can move at the speed of light and destroy portals on the Earth in an instant.
That scene perfectly captured how fast she was.
I thought Zenra had the same kind of naming sense as Space Ninja Gomus.
Space Ninja Gomus is the Japanese dubbed title of the 1967 film Fantastic Four. In this film, comedians provide the voice acting, and the characters have unique names. In particular, the Japanese version of Doctor Doom, Devil Doctor, is popular in Japan as a small meme because he speaks in a regional dialect known as Nagoya Ben.
As a Japanese person, the name Zenra is a little intriguing. This is because there is no contradiction between her appearance and the word.
I thought that the people of Zenra were silver from birth.
The reason he is silver is because he was given power by Galactus. As a side note, Aunt May was also once a golden surfer.
Silver Surfer. Pick a planet with a lower population and a lower intellectual level.
She may be too serious, but she may be able to do the job easily.
I'm sure there are settings like the more civilized a planet is, the more nourished it is.
The Silver Surfer being sucked into the black hole looked like Alex Ross.
Was that surfboard a part of her body?
That board is the source of the Silver Surfer's power, so without it, they lose their vitality.
The mental attack on the Silver Surfers is rather gruesome.
To be honest, I think it would have been better to depict an incident with enemies that F4 could fight against at their usual level, rather than forcing Galkutas into the story. The part at the beginning of the movie that depicted F4's past successes was the most exciting.
That's what the movies have been about up until now. Besides, isn't the most important thing this time to introduce Lead and Sue's son?
I looked into their son, but isn't he a character with particularly powerful abilities in the Marvel Universe?
If he didn't possess overwhelming strength, Galactus would never have taken an interest in him.
Frank was just born, but he has been on a fierce adventure since he was in his mother's womb.
It's nice to see the most hopeful ending in recent memory, not just a losing end.
I am truly glad that they did not lose to Galactus and that they did not end up fleeing to Earth 616 for help.
I really love the last scene with the child seat.
I'm so glad I watched it because it was so funny to see three super intellectuals fussing about installing a car seat in a car.
After the end credits, the latest version of Space Ninja Gorms 2025 began, and it was truly hilarious. They even imitated running without moving their upper bodies at all.
I laughed at the beginning of the last anime when the explanation of Reed was only about the brain LOL.
What made me happy about that anime was that I liked the bonus scene at the end. It was similar to Captain America's educational video and the scene where Deadpool reveals Johnny's true identity.
The scene where there were no representatives from Latvia was very funny, LOL.
I thought Doom wouldn't show up this time, but he makes a scary appearance at the end.
It seems that Dr. Devil has taken off his mask. But does he look terrible this time?
Is it okay for the Devil Doctor to first appear as a suspicious man trespassing on someone else's property? Well, I guess it's okay.
Did Doom come to see his arch-enemy's son because he fixed his face, so he kidnapped him? Or did he come to kidnap him from another birth? Well, the vacant Latverian representative seat was shown, so it must be someone from that world. Even in a situation where there is no countermeasure against Galactus, does he not want to rely on Victor?
I wonder if Latveria was not part of the peace treaty, or if the victor of this universe could be RDJ Doom in general.
The decision to cast RDJ seems to have been made quite some time ago, so I would like a convincing reason why he is playing Doom, based on the relationship between the two worlds.
Since you already revealed the actors, I wish you would have been wise enough to show a glimpse of RDJ's Doom in the post-credits.
But no one in the audience knows why RDJ is playing him yet. So if they see it now, I think most people will just be confused.
Has the F4 of this world already faced off against Doom?
He even mentions Latveria's name, so I'm guessing he's already fought there.
I was surprised that it didn't show the connection with the present Earth, but now I think it was a good decision.
The relationship between Thunderbolt and the post-credits scene was not mentioned in this film.
Does the beginning of Doomsday depict the continuation of the end credits of the two films?
Perhaps it is the opening scene of Doomsday, where Franklin is kidnapped and pursues the fleeing Dr. Devil.
I'm not sure if it's not the F4 that's on the last one, but maybe it's Dr. Devil who stole the boat.
Will Robert Doom appear in the post-credits scene of Brand New Day or in the Avengers trailer?
To be honest, waiting a year and a half from now is quite painful for me.